Company that sells multiple and diversified products of insurance, both financial and property and casualty. And we sell to a diversified set of customers as well. I think the main reason that our organization chose to invest in business process analysis technology was kind of twofold. One was driving some IT solutions and improving IT solutions as a whole and really seeing the value of trying to do some business process tied into that. The individual group that I was in really saw an opportunity to understand more the customer-facing processes, and it was something that we'd really tackled and looked at and done some documentation as well. So we had a ton of information and history and documents, and one of the things that we found the challenges was in managing that and having a documentation source that kept it consistent. So we saw Provision that had been chosen as an enterprise tool as a key tool that could help us leverage those and use those moving forward in how we worked on business projects and things like that. It largely started with executive leadership and trying to get executive sponsorship, understanding the need to run our business in a more effective and efficient way. And we really saw that as a driver, and we're able to quickly associate that with business process analysis and business process management. Some of the key capabilities that really drove us to select Provision, because we looked at multiple tools, were its strong sense of repositories and the ability to share. So you're able to create connections in a larger enterprise versus just being a tool for documentation purposes. So that was one of the key components, was the repository aspect of it. There's also built-in governance within Provision because it has the check-in and check-out capabilities. So it helps you really control versioning and users' access to the tool. So it prevents you from having to store documents on your hard drive and share, and those getting updated and having to get those sent back. It gives you the ability to do that much more easily, much more seamlessly, in a much more controlled environment. A third component that we really liked about it as we got into use it was the ability just to create the associations and the breadth of capabilities that the tool really provided in creating a picture with a lot of business relevance information behind it. So I think there were a couple of components that we really looked at that really put it above the rest. The primary business process analysis initiative that we were involved in is part of the reason why I began using Provision. It goes back to we documented a lot of customer-facing processes, and we were really looking to find a way to pick those apart and do some analysis on them, not only within our small team, but expanding to others outside of the organization to really try to find some strategic advantages. So we started using Provision primarily as a storage place for our documents. So we transported those, working with a consultant. We got them into a Provision format, and we're able to publish them and use them in communication with other folks. But we were able to then take those further through the analysis to drive out improved requirements for business projects that led to improved technology solutions that are now driving improved behavior on behalf of many of our employees and how they work with the customers. So that has been our biggest driving initiative. Biggest thing that has changed is in the efficiency of gathering and creating business requirements. So the value of process in and of that has been helpful, but being able to have a repository that you can go back to is what I call our starting place. So we always have a starting place to go in our business units to look for our existing processes. So you don't have to recreate the process every single time. I think that's been the biggest thing that we've gotten from this deployment. Being in the process world, measure success a lot through efficiency and effectiveness. So a big driver in our company is, of course, expense management. Everyone right now in the economy is really looking to manage expenses. So we've really looked at driving process improvement and management and how it drives the results through expense management. So that's been the real big driver that we've shown success through, to say, look, we've become more efficient in not only how we deliver projects, so we're making use of our time and how we work together, but we're also making use in creating efficiencies for the end user, if it's through an application or through a tool or through another project. So it's primarily through expense and resource management. we've got a lot of ideas right now as a company, and I think Provision really could help us bring that together and really help us kind of create some clarity around that vision.